What's going on, guys? What's cracking? Today is a very special day. One of my friends that I've met here over the last couple of years has decided to pick up a Supra. It actually happened to pick it up from the same gentleman I bought my wife's from, Matt Calderon out of Connecticut. He was kind enough to find this one. We've been looking for months now, and we had originally $40,000 goal. Some things happened, so we had to lower it down to $30,000, and we were looking for either a 5-speed or an NA automatic, preferably a 5-speed, because this way we don't have to cut the tunnel, the master cylinder, all this stuff's there, the pedals are there, it makes life a lot easier. Plus, just buying it until he does swap it and does to a bigger turbo, he can at least enjoy a little more. An automatic car, just in my opinion, is not that much fun. So he was able to find one. I was able to get a hold of Matt, and he was able to get a hold of me to sell him one. We found a couple other ones with our titles. I found 8 with our titles. Problem is with our titles, which I didn't know because I've never bought one, is the fact that you can't get a loan for one, period. You're not getting a loan for one. It's not going to happen. They see it as a giant high risk, so you can't do it. Didn't realize that. That was news for me because, I've never done that. So we were able to find a clean title car, and we'll talk about it a little bit more once he gets here because it is clean from what I've seen in pictures. It has the original sticker for it. Second owner car. It's amazing. So I'll just show you more once he starts rolling up. There it is, guys. It is clean. Super clean. Look at this thing. And look who bought it. Who is this? Gentlemen, sir, this does not look like a Subaru. Congratulations, man. I'm so happy and proud of you, dude. I gotta take a look at this thing. We're gonna walk around it now, guys. So Colton, how many cars did we look at, dude? How many cars did we look at, but how many R-title vehicles? We had a hell of a time.
20 or 30.
Dude, it was insane. So this popped up when Matt talked about it, and it was like a neighbor of his at one time or something, and it just ended up working out randomly, and it'd be a 5-speed NA. All the cars we were looking at were slick tops or hard tops, which we kind of preferred, but this is nice too. They did supply 2 new tires. These are Volk 3-piece racing wheels too. That's right, they are real Volk. The center caps on these sides are missing the original Volk stickers, but this side is not. You can see there. But these are real Volk wheels, which is pretty dope. The body looks pretty straight. It does have the original Windows sticker down there. And this is unique in the fact that it has an LSD from the factory. So this is one of the very rare, very few NA 5-speeds that has a factory LSD from a Torsen. So when he goes T56 mag, he'll be good to go for a while. Is there anything under the hood, or is it completely stock?
Completely stock.
That's awesome. That's perfect. So we think, it says it has a thermal exhaust on it, but it is quiet. Has a thermal tip on it here, and it's not like bolted on, so I would assume it is. We're going to get up my lift here shortly, but the taillights, not spider cracked. The paint looks fine. I'm going to open the door here. Inside the door looks good, so I don't see any paint lines or anything. The interior is pretty nice. Obviously, the steering wheel and the shift knob's worn out. I got him a new shift knob already. Center console, something wrong with that, is what Matt told me. What's wrong with the center console?
The bracket here.
Oh, yeah. Yep, they all break. That's either the front or the back one snaps on them. That's typical. But it's clean. It's very clean. All right, let's pull this bad bitty in, get it up on the lift, and take a look from underneath. Oh, before we do that, I guess we got to remove, he's got a random Momo pedal. We got to get this off. Which, before we do anything, Momo pedal, death to you. Let's get you out of here. All right, so we got her up in the air here, and we're finding out one thing right off the bat. We thought it was a thermal exhaust. It is not. It is original Toyota exhaust with a thermal tip on it. Not a big deal. We're putting my wife's HCAS racing exhaust on it. He's gonna buy that because I think it's only got 50 miles on it. And we're just gonna go from there. So we gotta take this off. We will start from the back. We've got 2 bolts here, 2 bolts here, and then we come up here and have 2 bolts here. Now, one thing we will have to do is right here, these nuts we'll just have to knock out. They always get stuck in there. Not a big problem, not a big deal. So let's go ahead and start on this bad boy. All right, guys, just found something out, and this is going to be news for a lot of people because it's always been said, I see it everywhere in the forums, if you have an NA, you only have 1 diff mount. Well, I think when you get an LSD, I think that changes. If you see there, this one has 2. Usually over here, you only have 1 mount, but this one has 1 there, 1 here. This usually isn't there. So that is definitely different. That must be an LSD option. Again, this is a factory LSD car. It's actually on the original sticker that's in the car, which is pretty neat. That's another cool thing as I hit my head. We are now finding out why it came with tires. You can see here, camber wear for days. Camber gang, bro. So that is definitely a little concerning, but he's got brand new tires in the back, so he should be good to go. Again, I'm gonna shut up now. Let's go ahead and take this bad boy off. So Colton's performing one of the first chicken wire mods here. That's a legit chicken wire too, look at that. I don't know why anyone ever thought that looked good. That's much better. I don't care if it doesn't have an intercooler. That's much, much, much better than what it was. We went ahead and put Cat's exhaust on it. He's just gonna order another one. It's just sitting here, her car, and I just cleaned it up so it's nice and shiny now. But it only has about 50 miles on it, so it's not really broken in yet, which I think he was kind of hoping for, but he'll be able to break it in then. All cleaned up, bolted up. Those last 2 bolts kind of sucked, but it is what it is. Should sound good. Again, tires. What else do we need to do while we're down here? Is there anything else that we're thinking of?
Motor swap.
Motor swap. I mean, might as well go ahead and throw it in. We're getting a lot of other shit done. Might as well go ahead and do that. All right, guys, so we're taking out Colton's dash right now. He's never done this before, and I didn't record taking out just because it's not very much fun. We're taking everything out too. So you take out down to the vents, everything comes out. The only thing I've never been able to get out properly is this guy right here. It's never come out in the way I'd like it to, so I'm not taking any chances. Now he needs to take out the security system and then the odometer here. And then the rest of the stuff here, this is good, so that's done. And for this here, 6-speed panel, he's got to take out these screws here. And then I'm going to show him how to remove that boot so you can finish it properly too, because he's going to put a new shift boot in it. All right, guys, so if you've never seen a shifter panel in a Supra, the boots in them are always raggedy. And you're probably wondering why. It's for the fact that they're permanent. So to actually replace the boot, you need to buy a whole new panel, which is fine, but it doesn't match anything else. So if you refinish this panel and then buy a new one of these panels, it won't match the rest. So the best way to do it is to replace all of it. But you can't do that, so you gotta refinish all of it. Well, if you refinish all of it, you don't want this in there, plus you can't get down here in these grooves, you get all this dirt and crust. So what you do is, there's a little easy trick you can do, is you drill these little plastic welded spots out, and then you can put a new boot in. And I'm gonna show you another method now that you can glue it back in, or you can have a way so you can bolt it in and out in the future. So I'll show you that, guys, after we're done here. We're gonna take a drill bit here and just work our way around these little bits and just keep going until we get them all out. All right, guys, so this is what you need to do. We put little pilot holes inside of each one of those plastic welds. And you can see here, see if I get my hand around here, we're able to break that loose, and then you can pull this boot out. So go ahead, I'm gonna try showing it here. Make sure it's good. Check it. Yep, that one's good. Do the next one here. Because you don't want to go more than you have to, because this plastic is thin. Walking like a mofo. Stop. Make sure. Pull on it. No. Last thing you want to do is break it. Oh, there we go. Reverse. Again. Looking good there. So guys, look, pulling that ring apart. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else do this before. I think there's people that have done it, but I don't think anyone's ever shown it on camera at least. Do you feel special now?
Yeah.
You look special. Let's go ahead and continue. We'll do this one here, and then the rest, guys, you can just see later. Ooh, careful. Stop.
I know it's only in my head sometimes when you say to me that I'm not good enough. My mind's like a freak show. I know it's only in my head sometimes.
All right, so you saw there, we got ahead and went the ring off. You can go ahead and pull the boot back out now. You can see there's like little clips in there that hold it in. Look how nasty that is. But now, look at the dirt and grime in there. You've never been able to paint inside of here. It just wouldn't look perfect. This will be looking 10 times better now for his Supra. So you guys can see the grime that's in there. This waxy material that they use for the factory just absolutely atrocious. So this is way, way, way better. All right, look at the boot here too. I mean, it's just junk. So that's out, and now you're getting one from, you're gonna use one from Super Class or something, right?
Yeah.
So I'm showing Colton now how to restore these things. We're using LA's Awesome. Do not breathe that stuff in. It can a little bit caustic. Use these little SOS pads. This is like your lubricant slash cleaner. There's no good way of doing this because you don't want to destroy the material. You don't want to destroy the plastic. You don't want to make it too soft. I tried using oven cleaner and actually started to really destroy the plastic. Got it brittle over time. So I learned my lesson from that. These panels aren't bad. The big panel up there sucks, and getting around some of the curvatures suck. We're gonna have to tape off this here because you don't want to scratch this area here. This is the only rough area. This is nice. We're gonna have to tape that off. This is a pain in the ass because you got these clear lenses in this too. So there's little things like that we got to be careful of. But he wants it to look nice. We're going to H2O. I've never been before, so I'm kind of pumped for that. I know Colton's pumped. You went last year, right?
Yep.
How was it?
Well, I didn't have a license, so I couldn't drive.
Womp, womp, womp. There's a Supra in the background, guys. But yeah, trying to get this all done. I think this is gonna be perfecto. So we're out here refinishing Colton's panels here. And here's the one thing I get a lot of questions about. How do you remove this little button here, right? This is for your light dimmer switch. And I just asked Colton here and he's like, I don't know. And at the very end, he's like, do you just pull it off? And I'm like, yes, you just yank on it. And you wouldn't know. It's one of those things you wouldn't know. If you can see here, once you pull it off, there's a nut back there. Once you undo that nut, this literally just falls off. It's that easy. But if you would try to like rip this out, you would just destroy this plastic. I've seen guys do it, don't do it. I believe this is a 12 millimeter nut. So if you get in the top drawer there and grab a 12 millimeter there, make sure that fits. There you go. Hold this side for you and just, there you go. That's it. And that's it. There's a nut for it. Don't lose that. Put that back on. See? Pretty easy. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, so starting another day here. We're still working away. I should say Colton's working away. I ain't doing diddly. I did talk to Travis Beaver today. I will say that this is spraying so nice. I looked at a nozzle and I went, this looks terrible. That nozzle looks cheap, but we just sprayed our first panel and you can see how they look. I mean, they look ashy and shitty. Barely sprayed these things. I can't believe this. Wait till you see it. Plus you can see his car here in the sun. You can see how straight his car is now. I mean, it is. You gotta remember, these are single stage paint cars too. So, I mean, this car is very clean, especially for a guy who had it and took care of it within reason, but wasn't someone who's probably polishing it up. So it looks really good. But here's the panel that has one baby coat on it. Baby coat. And it says to spray it every 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm gonna spray it again here. I like to do 4 to 5 coats, depending, but we got one baby coat on here and we'll do 3 to 4 more coats and that should be enough. Okay guys, so a lot has like happened, right? You saw we did all the panels and stuff. We ended up making a switch. So my car's here, you can see Colton's is gone. We decided to make a switch. He really wanted my wrap panels and these came out so nice. I'm like, dude, I honestly told him, I said, it's not fair. And he's like, I want these wrap panels. He's like, and his word is like, I'm a kid, dude. I like the ricer stuff. I like these wrap panels. So let me show you what it looks like here. Inside, I just sprayed this one. This is probably my least, but if you can see it here, once it focuses real quick, this panel looks so nice. The rest of the dash, everything looks so, oh, I mean, I'm gonna show you, I have a brand new 6-speed panel in here and everything came out so nice. I'm just blown away. This SEM paint actually worked this time. I've used it before, but it didn't work. So I'm gonna show you the 6-speed panel here, but I did another thing. So if you didn't know, on a Toyota Supra, we can't replace our shifter boots, which I got this off eBay. This is synthetic leather, if you didn't know this either. The factory one's not made of real leather either, it's synthetic. So we got this for 20 bucks because we needed something quick, and this ended up working out perfect. I wanted black stitching, they only had gray stitching at this time. You only see the front, the back side faces toward you anyways. So there's only 2 parts where you see a little bit of gray. I know my car's silver, but I want it to be as OEM looking as possible. So in the past, what I would do is I would drill out the ring, take the old boot out, and then just glue it back in. I want to make it so I can take it in and out over and over and over again. So I don't know why, but I thought this would be a good idea. And so far, it seems like it is. The only downside was I can't put any bolts here because this literally sits flush with the body or with the center console. So that's the only 2 spots I couldn't. It doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue. We'll see. Putting this on here, I will admit, this is 20 bucks off eBay, and it has all the holes cut, and it's even notched properly. Let me get it here. It's even notched right here on this side that goes here to go around this. So for 20 bucks shipped from Amazon, here it is, made in Mexico. But I got that off Amazon. I'll link that down below for you guys. Very cheap, very easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, and then we're gonna compare it to my factory 6-speed panel that I've had in the basement forever. You can see all covered up and pretty. You see all that there. No fading, no nothing. So I don't like taking that out unless I have to, so I'll show you that here in a minute. Again, guys, you'll see I didn't use these 2 down here. I had to notch out some spots because I didn't do it perfect, but again, for something I can replace, I used this Gorilla Glue to first get it on. So this is what I used to originally attach the bolts, and then I used a JB weld to weld them in around it, plastic weld pretty much. Just I didn't want them coming out because I'm putting some serious force in. So far so good. Plus banging gears and stuff, hot, cold, hot, cold. I wanted to make sure they stayed. That stuff's supposed to last forever, but you know, JB weld is king, so I used some of that just because I had it. I went a little overboard, but again, this is a used panel. I have a brand new one here, and you can still buy these brand new. So let's go ahead and finish putting these up. I use these tiny, what size did I use? Do I have the rest here? I don't. I want to say they're like M4 or something. I want to believe, yes, they're M4 because I had M6 and that was too big, which is a 10 millimeter. M4 is what I ended up using, and it seems to work out pretty well. Again, if you would do a little bit better job than me, I think you could leave it lined up perfect, but I think this will work. I just remember the bolt size. It was 10/32. Did I go to another side? I think I want to say it's 10/32 what I used. It was not metric. So there it is, all finished up. And yes, I couldn't use those 2, but these are about they're 3/4 of an inch long, and no, they do not hit anything. I already tested it. So this will fit in. It gets around the shift boot, everything. These are dried now. It took about 12 hours to fully dry, but this boot looks good in there. So let's take out the factory piece and compare it. Brand new 6-speed on the left. My new one here on the right. That color is pretty darn close, guys. And you guys see, I don't even want to touch this. I grabbed it from underneath because I don't want to put any fingerprints, but you can see this uses a synthetic leather. You can see it's just very thin. It's very, very thin. Nothing special here. This one's actually, for being synthetic, just feeling it, it's definitely thicker. It has actually a little bit nicer grain to it than the factory one, believe it or not. But here's the color, guys. I mean, that is pretty damn good. I mean, this one has a little bit more sheen than this one. This is a little bit flatter. I will admit this has a little bit more sheen, but obviously this will get it. As soon as you start cleaning, you touch this with your hand, it's gonna get a sheen to it. We gotta have realistic expectations, guys. No matter what, over time, it's going to get a little shiny, but obviously you want it as close to OEM as possible to begin with. I mean, damn, that's pretty darn close, guys. Again, that's that 7 paint, which you saw earlier. So it's about 15 bucks a bottle. Well worth it, in my opinion. We pretty much did all the panels with 1 bottle. Towards the end, though, it started to get the consistency of the paint wasn't as good. So I recommend 2 bottles, and that will easily do all your panels. And that's going thick. And then we redid 2 just to test it to see if we get a little bit better. I did, 2 of mine on top of doing all of Colton's. So if that gives you guys perspective, there was more than enough paint to get 2 bottles of it. And then I recommend going to your dollar store, and even for our pads, I would recommend probably getting 6 or 7 packs of those green SOS pads and just taking your time with that. LA's awesome, but very, very happy with this. I'm gonna go ahead and click this in and see how she looks.